Okay then. I think we're. Oh, hang on a minute. I've noticed something.
Your light's not on.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yes.
I don't think it was on when you were doing your last stream, was it?
No, it was. Yeah, because I was feeling
right.
nice and warm. I was just very pale faced. That's all it was. Okay, we are here. Welcome back. This is the Mithra stream, which is slowly being reduced today. However, we're going to persevere because even if, just to let you know, even if it got down to that, there was just one person here, I would still play the game because I love it so much. So let me just give you a quick update on what's happening. So Flat Battery, who plays Lucas, has headed off to secret missions. We have no idea where he is or where he's gone. He's almost like a James Bond sort of like person. And we don't know when he'll be back or anything. He's just sort of like gone. So anyway, so if you are interested in the game and would like to play Lucas for a couple of weeks, then by all means just get in touch with me. You can get in touch on the Discord chat, and I'll put the link into the chat now. By all means, go over and you can come in. You don't need any prior knowledge of the game or anything, as long as you're prepared to do a bit of role playing and fit in with the existing characters and the campaign, then that's absolutely fine. I.e., I don't want you coming in and suddenly going around backstabbing everybody. Okay?
You don't even need a camera, really, do you? As long as you've got a mic.
Yeah, as long as you got a mic. I mean, camera would be beneficial, but you don't need any software. The software I will send to you and you can download, and then that's it. So Lucas is up for grabs. He was created just for Flat to play, so it's there, and he might stay around for a while or he might disappear. We don't know. The other thing is Briggs, played by Big Beastie, tonight, at first he couldn't play, and then he could play, and then he couldn't play again. So he's not here. So hence why it says
wait, he can play.
Briggs absent. And then Rough Inspired is actually, do you know, he's been asked to do a podcast. He's such a he's the famous person of this stream. He's actually been asked to do a podcast, which he's doing right this minute. So once he's finished the podcast, he will jump back into the game, hopefully after about an hour, and then he will be in and ready. So we're 2 people down, but I'll tell you what will happen to them as soon as people have got their introductions out of the way, and we're ready to move ahead. So first up, as always, Chugawugga, can you tell us who you are and who you'll be playing?
Hello, I'm Chugawugga. I play Gulliver, the youthful gingerhead apprentice sorcerer of the group. He likes talking and stories and cheese. And I'll pass you on to Mr. Pickles. Who are you playing, Mr. Pickles?
Well, I'm Mr. Pickles. I've been playing with the group for a few weeks now, and I play Bartleby Fumus, a cleric of the Twin Moons, a good moon and a bad moon. And that's pretty much what I do. I'm just a guy with mangled hands and, some knowledge of monsters. And I'll pass it on to... Oh, what?
And you currently have somebody following you around, don't you? Or... So somebody that, because in the last adventure we found Benjamin, which I'll talk about in a second. Okay, yeah, sorry, Mr. Pickles, pass it on.
Yeah, I'm passing on to Longshanks.
Hi guys, I'm Longshanks CPG. I am playing Hengist. He is the professional warrior of the group. He's about 28 years old, so he's getting on a bit for a warrior because most warriors don't last to that sort of age because they get killed. But he's hanging on in there. He's a pretty badass warrior. Fights with a sword and shield, and he fulfills like the tank function of the group in this case, and also seems to be the leader a little bit as well. And I will pass you on to the one and only amazing GM, It Wills.
Yeah, and I'll just quickly bring you up to date. Wrath Inspired will be playing Dominic Shea. Dominic Shea is a mystic. He's a barbarian who focuses in on the way of the warrior. So he summons mystical energy to enhance himself in order to do great battles. He is quite abrupt. He is quite vulgar. He likes the women, and he carries a very big axe, and that's what he's actually doing.
And he's going to be pissed because we let his wolf go last.
Yes, well,
No, we didn't.
that brings me on to the synopsis of what's actually going on in this time and place. So the party have been hired by a group of merchants to seek out a caravan which set off from Eubin Falls like a month ago, and it was due to arrive in the town that they live in Lindo about 2 weeks after. It was 2 weeks after it should have arrived. The merchants got together and decided to hire the party. The party headed off with a wagon and went up the one and only road that travels between Lindo and Eubin Falls along the side of a river. It was several days into the journey on one of the dusky nights that they actually came across a wagon that had been attacked, and it was while they were there that they found lurking in the water with a bamboo pipe for a snorkel Benjamin, who was a young lad, a teenager who had been left his mom's house, who was a herbalist in the local forest, according to Benjamin, to seek his fortune as a member of the guard at Lindo. The party naturally took him on board, and he sort of like joined them and told them about what had happened. As well as the Benjamin at the wagon, they also found something quite strange that seemed to be some kind of coffer that had mold in it, and round about that coffer the grass had started to decay, etc. Anyway, there was a brief battle with wolves, and after that Dominic actually chopped off a lot of wolves' heads and posted them on stakes, and then there was a knocked out wolf that he tied up and put in the back of the wagon, hopefully we think to have a pet. Anyway, time moved on, and the group decided to let that wolf go because they thought it was a bit cruel. So that sort of like went off, and Dominic Shea doesn't know that yet because he was away last adventure, so he was off tracking a different track. Anyway, the party ventured further up the track and came across a large set of tracks. A large wagon trail had actually left the road and headed off into the forest, and that's where they came across a series of tents and a scene of destruction and carnage and glowing embers of a fire. While they were there, they got attacked by little green men that Bartleby identified as goblins. The mythical creatures that are used to scare children as they go to bed. And a fight ensued, and then the party were victorious. And that's when Benjamin came into his own, when he, armed with a dagger, set off and killed, jumped into combat after Bartleby's instruction, and did very well with his little blades. Some of the goblins, or one of the goblins, headed off into the night, and the party were left at the scene of the caravan. And guys, that is where we're going to start it off tonight, at the caravan. and we're going to see exactly. I can't remember what you had actually investigated and what you hadn't investigated. So we'll start off from this point, and then I'll tell you what's going to happen to Briggs and Lucas as we progress. So I'm just going to move you carefully across to that one. And you should be able to now see the area quite well on the map, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bartleby, can you just make sure that you can move Benjamin there? I think I assigned him to you, but I don't know whether or not you can move him.
I can move myself, but Benjamin is being very stubborn right now.
Okay, let's have a look at that for you.
Typical Benjamin.
Mm-hmm.
Typical Benjamin. I know what I need to do.
Oh, there we go.
Got him?
That's some power. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. He does have a character sheet assigned to him because you need a character sheet in order to move him, but that's not his character sheet. So don't worry about it. But I do know skills, etc. for him. Okay, guys. We will say that the combat is just finished. I can't remember exactly where we left it last week, but if we say that the combat has just finished and you are settling down, just so you know, the date is the 29th of Neath, or Neth, which is the 11th month of the year. Amriel, just so you know, is waxing, and Maroth is in its last quarter, although you can't see it, but it's on the evening of that day, so it's the 29th that we're up to. Okay, that's for you, sorry, Bartleby. So, okay then, yeah, what would you like to do, guys?
Just a quick question, just for a bit more information. The track that was leading off the main road.
Yeah.
Is it something that looks like it's been there for a long time? It's been used by various caravans travelling backwards and forwards. It's a stopping place, or did it look like it had been cleared recently?
It had been cleared recently, as if this caravan had on purpose left the road at that point and then come to this point. And if you remember, all the tracks that you can actually see on the ground here, they're sort of like the yellow bit, not the green. Can you see where it's sort of like well worn?
Yeah.
That has actually been well worn by feet going backwards and forwards.
Is Lucas still with us?
Yes, at this point.
Gulliver wants to ask him whether or not it's common practice for the caravans to leave the main road on their journey between Lindo and in between Eubin Falls and Lindo, or whether or not, do they normally? Gulliver doesn't know anything about the caravan trails. Do they normally just stop on the road? Pull off the road slightly, make camp, and then carry on the following morning? Or is there sort of like set spots at these caravans? Or maybe even Bartleby will know the...
Well, Bartleby, you can roll a commerce roll if you wish, and then he could let you know. Or
Yes.
Lucas can roll his. It's up to you.
I would love to roll commerce.
Go for it. Yeah, you think it's very unusual for a caravan to be this far into the forest. They tend to normally make camp on the side of the road, and that's where they tend to wait out the night. Some caravans actually continue through the night, and they just put watchers up, and then that's it.
Would I be able to roll streetwise to know if this might be like evidence of them trying to smuggle stuff or do something illegal or shady?
Streetwise tends to be. What is it specialized in? Is it specialized at all?
Specialized. I don't think it is.
It tends to be within a settlement.
Oh, okay. I'll have to.
It represents knowledge of places and social contacts within a settlement. It covers everything from identifying potentially dangerous neighborhoods to finding local services, legal or illegal.
Okay, yeah, I got you. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that wouldn't apply here.
I think when we left last adventure, Briggs had actually found some tracks that were leading off to the north, sort of like small carts that might have been pulled by.
That is totally true. They went off. I'll just put an X on the map so you can see whereabouts they headed off.
Okay.
Earlier on, when you first arrived at this site, Gulliver, you were scouting out with the with Briggs, and you asked a question about the embers of the fire and what they actually consisted of. What was the wood on that fire? And when you were there, I actually commented that you were a little bit too far away, and they were the embers. So, would you like to make a perception roll now for me, please?
Yeah, so I mean, what Gulliver's going to do, he's going to get some form of tool and he's going to rake through the embers. He's looking for things like something like metal fastenings, something that might be linked to
so roll your perception
a wagon.
Roll. Yeah, roll your perception roll. Yeah, so you can see the remains of metal that you think it could have been as from parts of your wagon, although the actual parts you're not too sure about, unless you have some kind of commerce roll.
I have commerce.
Yeah, by all means, roll it now then. Yeah, you figure it's probably bits of wheel hubs and things like that. Your general opinion is that they probably took the majority of the caravans and actually piled them all up to create what was once probably quite a big fire. But now, as I mentioned, it's all sort of like died out and not so fierce at all. It's quite sort of like ember-like. The Bartleby, the other thing that you notice as you sit here, and you're quite concerned about the bodies because the majority of the tents have been checked. And if you remember, there were various signs of carnage within each of the tents. But you get an unnerving feeling, Bartleby, that, and Lucas agrees with you on this, there's definitely not enough bodies here to man the caravan. There's definitely not enough.
Hengist is going to ask Bartleby if the stories that he knows about of these goblin things, do you know if they story to take human slaves?
Well, that is a very good question, Hengist. I'm going to think about this for a second. I say that to him as I just kind of lean back, think, and I'm going to roll as well, if I can.
Yeah, go for it.
Let's just add that in there. Kind of good.
I'm just typing in Discord to you.
Okay. I do believe I heard things back in my days of studying the monsters and sorts. I didn't have Discord open.
I apologize for the typos because I was just typing fast without looking.
Well, these creatures, goblins as they are referenced to, they have there's stories of them doing every kind of atrocity, except slavery,
Except slavery.
and not frequently.
Okay.
Gulliver's going to sort of like look around and he's going to say, "What do you think they came back for?" Because it's obvious that the camp's been ransacked, and they've probably carried off everything that was anything worthwhile in those little wagons that Briggs said, and everybody's dead.
Perhaps
Did they come back to check on the fire?
Maybe, or perhaps they were the rear guard of whatever it is of the group that came to do the raiding. Perhaps they were just the last ones to leave, and we caught them as they were leaving.
I think we should search the rest of the camp, and we should bury what bodies we can find. Because we don't want to leave the bodies just out here, because they're going to attract wolves, and it's not right just to leave them out here.
It's a good idea, Gully. And then we can start out first thing in the morning. Because I assume, and then Hengist will turn to Lucas, that this is the caravan that we're looking for.
Yes, Lucas agrees that this could be the caravan, although he's until you actually look at the contents of it, because if you remember, it was specific goods, spices and items and furs, items from the lake at Ubin Falls. So, but he strongly suspects that this is the caravan that you've been looking for.
Gulliver's going to start to have a look in the tents, looking for maybe a shovel or something that could be used for digging shallow graves.
Yeah, Hengist will put his shield on his back, and he'll put his sword away, but he'll make sure that it's sort of like not going to stick, if you know what I mean. So he's going to be able to use it get hold of it very quickly, and he's going to assist Gully in looking for a spade. Actually, he's going to move all the bodies together. I'm just going to ping on the map, just sort of down here-ish, so they're not in the actual camp, but they're still close enough to the camp that we don't have to drag them very far.
Yeah, so I mean, you could probably find a spade somewhere, and Benjamin is quite happy to sort of like join forces and help you dig graves. And I mean, there's only the remnants of 4 bodies out here, and within the tents, there's sort of like the blood remains of various bodies, but not actually bodies. As if there might have been some butchering or some attacking within the tent, and some dragging maybe, but there's definitely no bodies. So it's quite an easy feat to dig the graves and to sort of like bury them down on the at the bottom area.
So we'll bury the bodies, and then when we've finished, Gulliver's going to turn to to Bartleby and say, Bartleby, are you going to say some words?
I was about to say that.
I'm sorry, Gulliver. There's something that bothers me here. In all the stories of these creatures, they're not doing big attacks like this. They're stealing children to eat them or tear them apart. They tend to be more like followers rather than conniving planners.
So does that mean somebody else could have done this? Like bandits, maybe? Or outlaws?
It'd have to be something very powerful to command such chaotic forces of the other realms.
Gulliver's going to go really close to Bartleby, and he's going to say, I thought you might want to say a prayer over the dead people.
I'm sorry, I'm distracted by the potential deaths that may come as a result of the Dark Moon's influence. You are correct, though. I began to do my prayers over the bodies, hoping that they all fly into the light of Amriel.
And you notice throughout this time, Benjamin, even when you're talking to Gulliver, you notice that Benjamin is sort of like stood there, and he's sort of like staying by your side, and he's sort of like, when you're talking, he's sort of like looking up at you. And even Gulliver, you notice that once he finishes, Bartleby finishes saying, he sort of like looks at you, Gulliver, and nods as if it's in agreement with what Bartleby says. And Bartleby, as you head over to give final rites or whatever over the graves, you notice that Benjamin is walking a few steps behind you, almost like reverently. As you go across, he's not sort of like walking next to you. It's sort of like always, it's like obediently behind you as you walk back, and he doesn't say anything. But the rest of you see this as well.
Gulliver's going to be sort of like throwing suspicious glances at him as he's doing this.
Yeah, I mean that's fine. He's not doing anything suspicious. I mean, he's not eyeing up Bartleby's back or his neck.
No.
Like that.
Just Gulliver just doesn't believe his story. From what he said. So he's not. Even though Gulliver didn't see through it, he doesn't believe him.
Yeah. Okay.
Can we? I mean, searching the tents, etc. Can we find any? Has there been any weapons left?
There's no weapons in any of the tents, and there are, however, some goods left up in these back tents. I'm just going to ping the map. You need to be on the left-hand side, right the way down, just here. And here and here. There are some goods left in there, some bundles of what appears to be furs, some bottles or jars of what appears to be spices, and they're knocked over, etc. But they definitely seem those tents are quite unusual because the rest of the tents have been picked dry, and yet these tents still have something in them. Not a huge amount, but still something in them.
Gulliver's going to say, "This is probably why they came back. They came back to get the rest of the goods. This is if they were traveling from the other side of the camp, these were going to be the last tents that they will probably be getting the stuff from, and that's why there's still stuff in it."
That could well be. Hengist also wants to make sure that Lucas has a quick look at whatever's left and say, were these spices and things in your caravan's manifest? Do you know?
Lucas sort of like looks at them and sort of like says, well, they could have been in any manifest, but he strongly thinks that they were part of the caravan that was coming to the merchants that hired you.
Hengist is happy with that, and he will clap Lucas on the back and say, "That's all right then. We'll head off in the morning, follow the tracks to see if we can track down the rest of the goods then."
When Gulliver has Hengist alone in one of the tents or whatever, he's going to say to him, "Do you think we should give Benjamin a weapon?"
I think we might, if we might grab one of those goblins' swords and shields, stick it in our wagon, and then until then we can judge to see if Benjamin, how he behaves, and if we need to, then I've already given him my dagger once. We can give him one of a goblin sword and shield to defend himself if need be.
Are we going to be able to get our wagon up here?
You can get. I'm just moving it in for you now. You can get it in, not a problem, because if you remember, it was just tied down. It was tethered down just a little way back in the forest. So it's not a problem to sort of like bring it in here And there you go.
Would
Gulliver's
Angus-
going to say, I think we need to be careful when we do go, because they're going to know we're coming, because that green skinned man, that he escaped, so he's probably gone back and warned. If there's any more of them, he's probably warned them already.
And the
that's-
boars escaped as well.
That's true. That's
Yeah,
very
and
true,
the- and the
Gully.
pigs.
I think we should have 2 people on guard at all times, at a minimum, during the night if we're staying here. If not, we need to move as soon as we can.
What type of day does it look like? And can we see stars, etc.? It's
The night, sorry.
yeah.
Well, currently, if you remember, there's this you're operating underneath canopy light, which
Right.
means you can't actually see the stars. And Bartleby can sense the moons because of his religious order. It's something that is quite he's in tune with, of spending hours day after day being looking at them and sort of like progressing with them. So he has a good sense of time according to the moons, the rise and falls of them. But apart from that, as it gets darker and darker, it really does get dark. But you've got lanterns, etc., so that's not a problem.
Okay, but does it look like the fire will last? This burning ember fire, does it look like that will last throughout the rest of the night?
You're probably going to have to put some wood on it, but there's enough round in the forest to sort of like come out and get some and sort of like put them on. Maybe not as big as what it was before. You probably don't want it that big. But there's probably enough to sort of like keep a small fire going, eat your rations from the wagon. And also, Briggs can probably head out and maybe he can have a go at doing some hunting to see whether or not he can actually see. When I roll it, I'm really good.
Can I make a request? Can you do all Briggs's rolls from now on, please?
No. So he heads out and brings back some rabbit.
Not a wolf.
No, just the
An
odd
injured wolf.
the odd rabbit, and he brings back a wolf that has rope burns round it. That seems to be limping as it comes in. No, he brings back some little rabbits, a pigeon as well, that he's successfully sort of like guts and defeathers. And you get some meat in you for probably the first time since the battle when you refuse to eat the dead horse. Well, some of you refused to eat the dead horse. Some of you were very keen to have a nibble as a horse. Anyway, and so that sort of like passes the night, and you set up reasonable watches throughout the night. And the night passes almost like uneventfully, apart from I would like you all to make perception rolls for your watch. So this is not all happening at the same time. This is for your watch.
Okay, do you want them whispered to you or just
No,
normal?
you can just roll them.
Money.
Mr. Pickles and Longshanks, can you change your roll so it says your character's name?
My apologies, good sir.
Oh, yes.
It is so because if people are watching the stream and then they can just relate it to who's actually rolling. Okay, let's have a look. 47. Longshanks is Hengist is not likely to see anything ever. And Bartleby, that 94. Wow. Okay.
I get really lost in thought during watches, you know?
Yes,
It's like,
and
come on,
plus,
you know,
your perception is only 28. Yeah.
Yeah, his perception is
That's kind
better
of
than
a side
Hengist's.
Yeah, and even at 28, yes, it's 10 more than Hengist's, which, oh no, 9 more now. Anyway, so yes, the night passes quite uneventfully. Apart from the only thing that you see, Gulliver, and I'm going to type it to you, so make sure you've got.
I've got Discord open.
Yeah, so the morning arrives. There's leftover cold meat, and there's stuff from the wagon, and it's at this point that the party sort of like needs to decide what they are going to do and what will be the plan of action.
Well, Hengist is quite keen and says as much. I think we should follow the path. Is it north in Wills?
The track, yeah.
Yeah, I think we should follow the track north and try and locate the rest of the goods to see if this is the caravan that we're meant to be finding, or rule it out if it is not.
As we're packing up camp and putting things on the wagon, Gully's going to call over to Hengist, and he's going to say, "Hengist, can you give me a hand with this on the back of the wagon, please?"
Hengist will wander over.
And then when they're there, Gully's going to whisper to him, and he's going to say, "Hengist, when it was my watch last night, I saw Lucas handing something to Benjamin. I didn't see what it was, but they seemed to be talking, and then he handed him something.
Okay,
I told you we're not to trust him. I don't even know whether or not we should trust Lucas now. Definitely not Benjamin. His story doesn't make sense. Why would he be traveling to Lindo without anything? It's like 2 weeks, and he didn't have a weapon. He didn't have any food. He didn't. Anyway, don't trust him."
You did right to bring this to me. I will. We will think about it. We won't do anything as yet. We will wait and see, but we will be ready.
I'll keep an eye on him. I'll keep a close eye on him.
You do that.
You can rely on me, Hengist.
Just don't make it too.
I'll keep an eye on him.
Just don't make it too obvious. Try and be subtle in the way you're doing it.
Gulliver's going to go back, and sort of like as he's walking, he's just going to be casting suspicious glances at Benjamin.
Yeah.
Hengist is just going to be pretending that he doesn't see Gully just going all the time at Benjamin.
Okay,
maybe
yeah, go on.
Maybe Briggs can scout out ahead and follow the trail, and maybe leave markers for us to follow.
That's a mighty fun idea.
The first thing that we're going to talk about is that Lucas has. You noticed that either last night or during the time that you were eating or early this morning, Lucas has piled the goods from the tents that I mentioned to you earlier, the back tents. He's actually piled them into the wagon, and he expresses his concerns about taking the wagon even further into the forest, and his suggestion, especially with the horse. And remember, he is the person who is actually the driver.
He's the son of Melissa.
He's the driver of the wagon, and his suggestion is that he either he waits here for a certain number of days until he doesn't think, and Briggs confirms this, he doesn't think that the the amount of stuff that was on this caravan, it can't have been too far up the trail. And you do notice when you look at the trail that it's getting, if you remember, it was a very narrow wagon. Can you remember what I said with just 2 wheels?
Two wheels, more
yeah.
like a small cart.
Yeah, and you can see that the trail actually gets narrower and narrower as it goes up. So Lucas's suggestion is that he remains here with your cart and horse and waits for a set amount of days, and that he's quite happy to set. And then if he doesn't hear from you, then at least he can go back to Lindo and tell people, or even go up to Ubin Falls, because you're actually further that way, and actually tell people there what has happened, rather than everybody marching off into the forest and dying and then nobody knowing anything. And you all agree that this is probably a good idea, and you sort of like share out some of the rations. So make sure that you put a backpack onto your character sheets, and then identify if you're actually going to, what you're going to actually carry in it. It can actually carry just so you,
it's up to 20 encumbrance. Sorry.
Yeah, just so you know, Mr. Pickles, it can go up to 20 encumbrance. And then what we do is that on the equipment list, because the sheet is still being developed, if you put a cross with anything that you're actually carrying in their backpack, then that's how we sort of like decipher whether or not you've actually got it with you. You don't need to cross things like weapons, etc., etc. We take that's in it. So if there's anything you guys want to take, there's probably, it's probably somewhere in the caravan in the remains, you know. But for example, there's no trebuchets here or gunpowder, Gulliver, or anything like that. but just to let you know, Mr. Pickles, the game does have guns in it, or you can actually have gunpowder, etc., and muskets and things like that. Hence, Gulliver's always seems to be on the lookout for a gun that he can hopefully fire. I fancy giving you such a big blunderbuster, Gulliver, that when you actually fire it, it sends you off backwards. And I don't. What was that game? There was a game. I think it was a Traveller adventure that you came across something. No, it was a D&D adventure. That was it. Expedition to the Barrier Peaks. That you came across weapons and guns and things like that. And there was actually a table to roll on to see whether or not you got them round the wrong way.
The right way, yeah.
Was that Expedition to the Barrier?
Don't know, but I can remember, because you found a whole load of things, and then it was sort of like, roll this. Oh dear, you've actually got the pistol round the wrong way,
and you fired it, and you shot yourself. And there was actually, I'm sure it was. I have a feeling it was S4, Expedition to the Barrier Peaks. I'm going to check now. Expedition to.
Okay, well, whilst you're checking that, Gulliver's going to get his.
Oh my God! There's a PDF.
Oh.
There's a PDF of it.
Maybe Gulliver will eventually get his flintlock pistol then and his black powder to use with it. Anyway, whilst we're checking up on that, Gulliver's going to get his backpack that has his cooking pot attached to the back of it, and he's going to get that on. He's going to carry everything with that he needs in that, just what's on his standard equipment list. He's not going to take anything else.
Yeah, I'm quite happy for you just to pick up what you need or what you don't need and put it in your backpack. That's absolutely fine.
Yeah. Hengist will do. Sorry, can I just say Hengist will do the same, but he's not going to wear his backpack. He's going to find like quite a stout looking sort of like
tree
branch that's on the floor, dead wood, trim it down, and he's going to use it as like a marching yoke. So he's going to put his straps to his backpack, that through his straps to the backpack, so he can hold it over his shoulders, and he's going to attach his shield to one side and his helmet to the other, so that in combat he can just drop it and he's not encumbered by it in combat.
Yep, that's absolutely fine. Benjamin offers to carry yours for you, Bartleby.
I'm gonna give him a really annoyed look. Kind of like I can carry my own backpack. I travel lightly for a reason.
Yeah,
And I think I have it correct on my equipment page. So I assumed I had a backpack to buy.
yeah, that's absolutely fine. Hang on, I'll
Does
just...
whilst all this is happening, Gulliver wants to sort of like have a look at Lucas. Does it look like Lucas has still got all? Because he at one point he had several daggers. Does it look like he's still got all his daggers, or were they hidden?
You would have to roll a perception roll.
Gulliver's just trying to work out what might have been handed over.
Yeah, it looks like he's still got them all.
Okay.
Sort of like Benjamin sort of like apologizes, Bartleby, and then sort of like he sort of like gets more of a sack that he sort of like puts some stuff in, and he sort of like takes some of the rations, etc., and puts it on, and so he's sort of like carrying it with both hands, and it's sort of like swung over his shoulder. Yeah, it seems a good idea for Briggs to head off first down the track, and he sort of like says that what he'll do is probably scout out roundabout as well, just to make sure that the group, so if the track's going straight, he's going to scout out to ensure that you don't get flanked and things like that. So although he's not going dead along the track, he's probably using his skills to come through either side, just to make sure that you don't get flanked as you're moving.
But if there's any deviation from the actual track, well, can we ask him to mark it for us? If
he's around, I think switching out, I think Briggs is not in this adventure, as previously stated. So he's not going to come in and do a bit for you, then disappear. From this point.
We meant sort of like if it was, I think what Trigger Wiggle was saying, if the goblins went one way, he'd like put a mark on the tree to say follow this direction, not actually come in to say they went this way and disappear.
Yeah. So I say it again. So Briggs will have no participation. Characters have no participation when they're not there. So that's what I'm saying. He's flanking somewhere else. So if it comes to a fork in the road, hopefully Dominic could be back with his tracking skills. But if not, you guys will have to rely on perception to decide which way to go. Okay. So that will literally mean that we're Briggs sort of like heads off, and as he sort of like goes into the forest, almost like instantly he disappears, and neither Bartleby or Hengist can hear him. Sure as he steps out of sight, he just disappears, and you can't. Hengist and Bartleby can't hear him at all. Gulliver, you can. He's sort of like cracking on there, but and then that's it. And Lucas, how many days do you want Lucas to stay?
Gulliver will say, Lucas, on the third day, look to the north.
So you want him to wait for 3 days?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
3 days, I think, should be enough. Do you think 3 days?
Maybe bump it up to a week.
Yeah, Hengist was thinking closer to a week, and then
a week.
I don't know how long we'll have to hike, and then we got to do a round trip back. And who knows how long we'll be locked up in Goblin Prison.
Wow.
So that
exactly.
A week will actually take you to the 7th day of Kuthuna. And that will actually be the fire day, which is the Friday. So that's when we'll see whether or not he will wait to that day. And it's a good day to actually wait until, because Bartleby
just
knows.
For the weekend.
No, Bartleby knows on that precise day, both Amril and Amril will be a full moon. and
Ooh.
Maroth will be a new moon. So
Yeah.
so that seems a reasonable place to sort of like say, Lucas, wait until Amaryl is full again in the sky and her radiance is shining down before her. And if we do not return by then, assume that we also are in her glorious glow.
Yeah, but it doesn't have the same ring like on the third day, look to the east.
Isn't that because you've nicked it from somewhere?
No.
Yes, you
Of course not. Can't do that. Can't say that for copyright reasons.
Can't be that. Tolkien would turn in his grave.
Okay. So, what's the plan of action, guys?
Okay, so once we've got all our supplies together, we are going to head up this track. What is it? 2 abreast, maybe?
You can in places, but there are places that branches come across. So it's probably better to go one single file down it. It does twist and turn a lot, and there are areas that are very muddy, as if this track has been worn down frequently, and there's frequently sort of like tracks that are quite soggy. So probably one abreast is probably the best to be in. So
Okay.
if can you see if I'm just going to ping somewhere on the map. So if we assume that the cross up at the top is where you're heading, so can you see this track that comes down here?
Yeah.
If you line yourself up on that, and then I can then transfer you through the forest on that order.
Okay, is anybody going to go first or... Oh, there we go.
I figured maybe I'd be right up there behind Hengist, and then Gulliver, you might be behind me, and Benjamin would be right next
Gulliver's
to you.
going to keep behind Ben. He's going to keep an eye on him.
I don't know. Because it might be good to have Benjamin up there. Yeah.
And Gulliver will keep an eye out behind as well, with him having the better hearing and eyesight than the rest of the team.
I just saw I missed that.
I said Benjamin's Gulliver's going to go up behind. He's going to be the last, and he's also going to keep an eye out behind, with him having a better perception.
Behind
with the fact that he notices things more than Hengist and Bartleby do.
Yeah. Okay. Then.
But he's also going to keep an eye on Benjamin.
Yeah. Is that an eye on him as in?
As in, just make sure that he doesn't do anything out of place. All of a sudden draw a knife and plunge it into Bartleby's back.
Then.
That type of thing.
Yeah. So like sinister things rather than.
Yes, not as if he, not watch his butt or anything.
Yeah. Bartleby, did you get the message that I sent you in Discord?
Yes, and I forgot to press the enter button
Okay, cool.
to tell you that I got it.
Okay, that's brilliant. Okay then. So you head off. You're marching a lot slower now, obviously, because you don't actually have the cart with you. So you're not sort of like riding along on the cart, and you notice that indeed the track becomes narrower and narrower, and to the stage that all you can notice is that there's the muddy track, and even branches from the nearby trees often overhang it, or you notice that various ones have been smashed or hacked down as if through annoyance. They haven't been sawn off gently, they've literally been hacked. And you notice that this is almost like becoming a forced trail. It's not something that you think people have been going. It's a natural trail. you think that it's probably been almost like forced through. I'm just going to pop you on to the map.
Is it on going sort of like uphill, or is it flat, or?
You will know in a second. Got it?
Ooh.
Somebody's been spending money on floor plans.
No, I haven't actually. I used it for D&D. It's the spider one.
I remember it.
Yeah,
I remember
and
it well.
the goblin camp, etc. You do notice that the trees are becoming denser and denser, and there's a lot more of them, and the path is winding this way and that way, and you can almost like see the trails in the actual ground where the wagon has been pulled left, right, and centre. And you sort of like stop at lunchtime and sort of like have your meal, have a brief snack, and then you sort of like rest for a while, and you converse between each other. And Benjamin's really sort of like quiet through these stages, and this sort of like maintains his silence. And then sort of like you head off walking yet again down this track, and it's coming to almost like dusk of the sort of like the first day. So you're sort of like coming to the end of Neth now, and you're aware that this is the end of the month of Neth, and both Amaryl will be in its first quarter, and Bart will be shining above you somewhere, and Marath will be in its last quarter, about to go into a new moon, dark, almost like a lidless eye, winking at you from high above. And you come round the corner, or as you approach round the corner, you see what appears to be a flickering. I haven't moved you round the corner yet, so imagine that the path turns round before you. But what you do notice is up ahead, just as it comes to dusk, and just as you're thinking, now is the time to settle down for the night, you suddenly notice a glow. It seems to be a glow of a fire, or a flickering torch, or something like that. It's definitely amber in colour, and it's not a bright white light or anything like that. It's definitely like a flame, and it's definitely going on and off, not sort of like completely off and complete on, but it's almost like flickering, and you can see that just up ahead at the turn.
I take it we stopped short of that.
You certainly have, yeah.
Okay. Hengist would have seen this, sort of like motioned a halt to the group, and he would have put his marching yoke with his backpack on down on the ground, put his helmet on, and drawn his sword and be like, "Be ready. It could be the Green Men again."
Shall I go and check it out? I'm not very stealthy, but I can probably maybe get close enough to see what's happened, or what it is. Shall I, Hengist? Shall I? Normally we would get Briggs to do it, but Briggs isn't here. I could probably do it. I've been watching him. It seems pretty easy. You just walk really slowly.
Remember when you did that last time, lad, and you fell down the trap into the spikes?
But I fell down the trap silently into the spikes. I wasn't making a noise. It was you who made the noise when you came down and landed on all their skulls. So it wasn't really me who was making the noise. It was you.
That is very true, lad.
Shall I give it a go? Shall I?
I have faith in you, Gulliver.
By all means, Gulliver. But if it's anything dangerous, come straight back.
I'll shout. I'll shout straight away if it's anything dangerous. Gulliver's going to take his.
Don't Just run back, and then we will look up. We will come towards you.
Gulliver's going to take his take his backpack
Just
off.
hang on, because Raph, is Raph there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Raph's here.
Ooh.
So let's
Yeah.
just
Okay, so when I'm gone, explain about the wolf.
I heard.
Okay, well, just 1 second. Let me just get Raph's character onto the because I've got him ready here, and I will pop him on. So when did you arrive, Raph? How much did you hear? Did you have a nice podcast, by the way?
I did.
Yeah. How much did you hear?
I literally just jumped on maybe 2 minutes ago.
Okay, then. So just to give you a brief synopsis. So Lucas is staying back at the caravan site. That was all the butchering occurred at. And,
Right.
and has agreed to stay there for 1 week. And if you don't come back within 1 week, he's going to head off back to town. Briggs is flanking down both sides to make sure that no goblins
Not
come,
at
because
once.
he's not here. And so you're without the wagon. You've got enough food stuff with you, and the party has come to a turn in the track, and they notice some amber flickering light, as if there was a fire going on or something like that. And the party now have had a discussion about who should go and who should not go. And just as you're discussing that, then you notice that Bob, Dominic comes back in. Can you just make sure you can move your character, your token?
Checking out. Yep, moving.
Yeah.
We're good.
Excellent. What's your perception roll for, Gulliver?
I wasn't rolling perception. That was
right.
that was before. That was me looking to see whether
All right.
or not.
Sorry, it said Gulliver was typing, and then I just looked and I saw it.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to do my blind roll for my stealth.
All right, that's all right then. So Dominic comes back at that point. So you've been chatting away round the corner. So off you go, Gulliver.
Okay, so I'm doing this to you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so my skill is 26,
26. That's cool.
but I will use a luck point if needs be.
What do you want to do? You use your luck point on?
Oh, if it's 26, so if it's something that can be switched,
No, it can't.
he'll switch it. If not, he'll well, how quiet is he moving quietly? Well, he thinks he's moving quietly. He's going to set off up the.
Okay, so you're just leaving the roll how it is.
Well, I don't know what it
Okay,
is.
that's cool. Yeah. So so you sort of like head off. The rest of you sort of like hear him sort of like stepping on several twigs, etc. And you sort of like hear his pot bashing around.
No, he's taking that off. He's taking his backpack off. I did say that.
You hear various things bashing around as he creeps around.
If
And
it
about
sounds like
halfway-
he's not moving silently.
No, to you are. And then
right, okay.
after a few steps, he turns around and he sort of like smiles at you and goes shh, like that.
Oh no!
And sort of like carries on. And
I've got this.
And I'm going to type to you what you see.
Oh, that's delightful.
As Gully turned around and went, shh, Hengist is just going to put his head in his hands and go,
I'm like a ninja. A ginger ninja. That's what I am. Oh, what have I got? Oh, he's typing something.
Secret. He's got a secret.
I got a secret.
While he's doing that, how are you guys? I missed you. Hi.
Missed you
I
too.
miss your beard more.
Missed you more.
I know, it's gone. I feel like a virgin again.
Did you know they killed you off? No, sorry.
Yeah, Roth, what's your new character gonna be?
It's the wolf. Oh, wait.
No.
Get it?
Yeah, okay, so Gulliver's going to quietly head back. And once he gets back, he's going to motion everybody to come close. And he's going to say, there's a whole load of crates up ahead. But the glow isn't from a fire. It's from some type of big beetle. But I don't mean this big. It's massive, and it's got these glowy globes on it.
A beetle?
Yeah, like a bug.
Yeah, a giant beetle with glowing.
If you ask me questions, I'm really good at describing things. It was big, it was a beetle, and it had glowy globes.
Is this the point that Dominic can walk up behind him and just be like, "Aye, lads, what you guys getting off to?"
You can do if you wish.
Yeah.
Surprise!
And Bartleby,
Look at his breeze like, "Hey!"
Bartleby, do you want to roll your monster lore? Well, for me, please.
I would absolutely love to.
Gulliver will answer any
Like,
questions that he can that Bartleby asks, just to get
Yeah.
a better understanding.
Yeah.
But it's obvious from Gulliver's
interrogate him.
first description that he's described it pretty much spot on.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I feel.
It's a beetle.
But do I know if they're dangerous at all?
Yes.
Do
Very,
they eat?
very aggressive.
Oh, well, my friends, giant fire beetles, as is their name, that I've devised from other various mediocre names I found in various texts. They're nocturnal creatures. They only wander around at night, and they're very aggressive, and they're very valuable. The glands shed light for a couple days after
How
they've been
valuable?
torn out.
How valuable are we talking?
Can I throw a commerce onto my lore?
Yeah, by all means.
Yeah, let's get commercial.
You actually haven't seen any of these glands being sold at all. It's you've read about these beetles, but in all the time that you've been in Lindo, you've never seen any on sale. So you estimate maybe thousands of silver pieces. I mean,
Gulliver's eyes sort of like go wide. As
sorry, that was to Bartleby. That's his
right.
information.
Well, I mumble that as well.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Last game, I wanted to verify. Last game, we'd kind of talked is anything that I'm getting in my knowledge rolls, I kind of mumble and share it with you guys, at least when available.
Yeah.
If I don't directly mention it. So yeah, I'm like, maybe thousands. I could be nothing if you can't find a buyer. Find a buyer.
Gulliver's going to say, did they go around in packs, Bartleby? Is pack the right word for beetles? Do beetles go, or is it a herd? A herd of beetles? A pack of beetles?
At this point, can Dominic walk up and kind of slap Bartleby on the butt and be like, "What are we all whispering about?"
Yeah.
I thought you had already approached and greeted us.
I've just been standing there. Nobody responded to me. So I slap you on the butt. I'm like, "What are we whispering about?"
Shh! Dominic!
That's me.
Oh, that's done it. After my stealthy approach, it's gonna know we're here now.
Who?
Gulliver's going to start getting his backpack back on.
Okay.
Are we planning a surprise?
Can you describe what you described to me again? You did an apt job at it.
Is this for Lucas? Is this like a party?
You want me to describe the beetle again?
You found a beetle, did you, boy?
Yeah. It's big. It's a big beetle and it's got glowing balls on it.
You found a big beetle with glowing balls, did you, boy? Aye.
It's just up ahead.
Who's been letting this one drink his mead?
And it's valuable.
I've only been gone for a bit, and you got wasted.
Don't destroy the globes because they're worth lots of money. Bartleby says that they're worth thousands. Do we know whether or not
Is this the real thing?
They go around in more than one?
I'm guessing. I mean, I remember you talking about there was a light up ahead on the trail. Do I see that in Wills?
Yes, everybody can see it.
Okay. So then I would. Okay, so I'm putting 2 and 2 together here. I'm like, oh,
Yeah. Angus will,
yeah. We probably should be quiet then, shouldn't we?
Angus will turn around and whisper, Gulliver doesn't usually make things up. He might exaggerate slightly, but what he says is usually turns out to be more or less true.
I don't think I've ever lied at all. I can't remember.
I didn't say you lied. I didn't say you lied.
I can't remember. I can't remember if I've lied.
I didn't say you lied. I say you might slightly exaggerate. I didn't say you would lie. And then Angus is just going to shrug. He's going to make sure all his helmet straps tight, and he's going to draw his sword, put his shield on, and he's going to leave his backpack where it is for the moment. He's going to get ready to go.
Yeah, well, as you're sort of like busy talking and everything, and you finally get your backpack on, all of a sudden from the side of the forest just bursts out this huge beetle, exactly how you saw before, Gulliver. And it just sort of like bursts straight out into the pathway. It knocks both Hengist and Bartleby prone onto the ground.
Can I catch Bartleby with my bulging muscles?
Nope.
Dang it.
He
Just watch him fall. Nope.
Yeah, no, because unless you had, I tell you what you could have done if you had had
Spoke quietly.
Yeah, or the other thing that would have allowed you to catch him if you had your danger sense up and running.
Yeah.
Because I think you have a danger sense, and it sort of like bursts out and sort of like lands full down onto the thing. As you can see, it's quite huge. And it's actually massive compared to you guys. You figure it's approximately nearly about 22 stone in weight.
Small pony.
Yeah, bigger. And it's just sort of like, and you notice that it's got huge mandibles that is sort of like chomping around. And with that, guys, we will have some. Let me just move this over here. Let me just check what view I'm on here. That's fine. And we will. Let me just delete everybody from this. And take that down to round 1. Okay, guys, and we will have some combat.
Remember to click on your token before you roll your initiative.
Yeah.
I think this will take a 16.
Oh my god.
Nice.
Good
Good job.
What are you doing? That must have been an awful roll.
Okay, let me just rearrange this. And there
This
we
must
go.
have been amazing.
Excellent. So this is round 1, turn 1. Okay then, Hengist, you are up.
Question before Hengist does anything. When he was knocked down, did he drop his sword or not?
Nice point. Let's just check that. So if you please roll your, I think we'll go with evade or athletics, whichever is higher. No, you've kept hold of your sword, and Bartleby as well. Whatever you had in your hands.
I presume I would have drawn my club, but I hadn't said that.
Yeah, so just roll either your evade or if you're athletics. It's up to you. I don't mind which one.
Let's see, which one do I have?
You'll have them both.
Oh.
They're both standard.
I'm going to go athletics.
Yeah. Yeah, so you both sort of like, as it sort of like bashes you out, you both either, it's almost like it knocked you and you've semi-dived off to either side, but you still actually got your weapons in hand. Yeah, so Hengist, you're first.
Okay, in that case, Hengist will use his action to stand up.
Cool. Yeah, so that's your first action. There you go. Okay, who's next? Gully, you're up.
Seeing this beetle jump out of the forest, knock the two down, Gulliver's going to say, "Beetle!" And he's going to point at it with his two fingers crossed, and he's going to say, "Erit!"
Cool.
And try to cast a spell.
Yeah, what's my resist?
Endurance.
Endurance, thank you. Yeah, cool.
Oh, you're not resisting that.
No. Excellent. Okay then, and so that's
excuse. During just quickly, sorry. During the rest, did we get any magic points back?
No. Oh yes, yes. Sorry, the night rest.
Yeah.
Yes, you will be all up to full, but no devotion pool back up. Okay. Dominic, you're up.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna see the creature with balls more valuable than my own. That thing needs to die. I'm going.
It's actually. I know a bit of fixation, but it's actually glands just below its eyes. You can see it in the picture. Rather than genitals, you know.
Okay. Still needs to die. I'm gonna go my Axeman augmentation.
Oh, cool. Yeah, spell casting. Then off you go. Roll it.
Let's see.
Intensity 2.
Mysticism, right? That's what I'm rolling.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Rolled.
Yeah. We assume it's intensity 2, and you just need to change your character name because it's currently saying Wrath rather than Dominic.
Yep.
Yeah.
My apologies. There we go. It's changed.
So you've now got the way of the Axeman up and running, and Bartleby, you are up.
Would it be an action to like crawl up to? I'm gonna ping it like right here.
Yeah, this just be like your movement.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna crawl up there. Get kind of out of the way.
Yeah.
Bam.
So you sort of like crawl away. So the fire beetle just turns round on you, Hengist, because it sort of like sees you towering above it, and it takes a beetle bite out of you, and it snaps where you were as you move out the way. And that is the first round over, I think. Yeah.
What does Benjamin do? Does he reach for a weapon or anything?
No, he's just sort of like stood there quite shocked at the moment.
That's fine then.
So this is turn 2. And Hengist, you are up.
Angus, now having recovered, and standing up, he's going to make an attack at this thing with his sword.
Cool, go for it.
And fails.
Okay. And Gully, you're up.
Gulliver, having just cast his spell, he's going to reach for his knife, which is on his belt.
So
and he's going
weapon.
to draw that.
Yeah, cool. And Dominic, you're up.
All right. Yeah. Time to dive in. I want to go two-handed axe, just plunging straight into it.
Yeah, so move to where you would like to be.
Axeman- Yeah. We'll just go straight up to there.
Cool.
Or would I need to go here?
No, that's fine. It's just because we assume that both you and Hengist are actually in range there. Bartleby, you're up.
There we go.
I would like to stand.
Excellent. And Fire Beetle turn. So it will, as you sort of like, so Hengist sort of like fires a shot at it and, swings at it and misses. So it quite naturally will lurch out to you as Dominic comes up to its side. So this is an attack at you. And it lunges out again with its mandibles and it misses.
It would have hit if it wasn't for that fatigue.
Nice.
Yes, it would have done. You are completely correct. It would have done. Okay, turn 3. I think it's just Hengist and Gully, isn't it?
Hengist is not served by his miss of his sword last time. He's going to do a quick backswing and hope to hit it this time.
Okay, cool.
Which he does.
Yeah, you will get one special as you hit it. What's the special you're going to do?
He's going to do bleed.
Okay, cool. And then roll your d20.
Do I need to? Is it just 1d20? There's nothing else on it.
Just one d20, yeah.
Just 1d20. It is 14.
Yeah. So 14. this is his right front leg.
Okay. And then he will roll his damage. He gets a 7.
Ooh.
Yeah. So you swing at it, and it just sort of like hits its outer chitin, its exoskeleton, and there's a slight crack in it. And you notice that you go through to the flesh underneath, and this giant beetle sort of like almost like screams a hideous scream, not a human scream, quite a beetle scream. But you don't think that you actually the majority of your roll was absorbed by the chitin shell, the exoskeleton. Most of it was absorbed by that. And Gully.
That's right.
Oh, Gully, did you have your extra roll? No, it's yours now.
No, so Gulliver's going to move down this side to almost attack this thing with his knife from the flank.
You're just doing a movement, yeah?
Yeah, but he's looking for an opening.
Damn.
Yeah. Okay then. That's cool. Okay then. So we're on to round 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cool. Let me just reset that. So turn 1. So Hengist, you're up.
Hengist, after cracking its leg this last time, Hengist is going to follow up again with a quick attack.
Yeah. Roll away.
And he gets a standard.
Yeah. So as you sort of like raise your sword and sort of like swipe down on it, the beetle sort of like catches, lurches at it, and sort of like traps your sword in its mandibles. And there's a brief sort of like shudder as you notice that it's got it firmly attached before you just manage to draw it back out again, and it successfully parries your attack. Gully, you're up.
Gulliver's going to sort
of sorry, I didn't move Benjamin last round, sorry. Benjamin's next, and I forgot to take your... Benjamin's next to you, Bartleby, and you do notice that he's drawn a knife out of his boot. Yes, sorry, Gully.
Gulliver's going to almost launch himself into the back of this beetle with his knife, trying to...
Okay, you need to roll... It'll be an athletics check to get up there, and that'll be your movement.
Okay.
Or do you have acrobatics?
No.
No. So you sort of like try to get up on this beetle, and you sort of like try to get up there, but as you do, the beetle just like opens its carapace a bit, and sort of like you just sort of like get knocked back down onto the floor. You're not prone. If you had fumbled, you would have been, but you sort of
Okay.
like get knocked back, so you're back down there. Dominic, you're up.
All right. I'm gonna scream out, "For Bartleby!" and then just hack into him.
Yeah, cool.
Axeman, let's go. It's on very easy, so 15 out of 128.
Yeah, 15. That's absolutely fine. You hit him. What's your? He's not going to power this, so you have a special.
Bleed. Or
Yeah, bleed's fine.
my other one is Thunder. That just damages his armor, correct?
It takes his armor off the location that you hit. Yeah.
Okay. And you said this thing had an exoskeleton, so maybe ripping away the exoskeleton would be smart.
Yeah, it's up to you.
I'm just gonna do it because I've always used bleed. I haven't used Thunder yet, so let's use it and see how it works.
Okay then. So
This attack won't damage him; it'll only damage his armor. Is that correct?
let me just check. I think that is the case, but I
Okay.
will...
I've never used it. No, just
Yeah.
curious.
And
I'm just trying to think if this is because what I was thinking is it would rip away the armor so that my team would have a better chance of hitting him and doing more damage because they wouldn't hit his armor, but it would only be in this one spot. Correct?
yeah, but then people can choose location to be the
If the
special.
AP is destroyed, it's carried over to the hit points.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, I was just reading it. So
Okay,
because you're at the front, add 10 to your D20, because therefore you'll hit something at the front.
Okay. So
So roll a 1d20
20 plus 10.
and then add 10.
I added 10, so 26.
No, you need to
Well, it's 16, and then add 10 would be 26.
yeah. Sorry, 16 is fine because that is a front location. So that's
okay.
that's his right front leg.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to roll some damage for me next.
Okay. Damage rolling.
Yeah.
6.
6.
Well, that's a bit of a letdown.
Roll the natural 1.
So that does okay, so you whack your great battle axe and it whacks onto its front legs as it's reeling around, and it hits it, and you hear this almighty crack. And you notice that the chitin, the exoskeleton shatters, and you can see that there's plenty of room now for both yourself and Hengist to get at the flesh underneath that. The armor in that location has definitely been removed. That's Dominic done, and Bartleby, you're up.
I want to say quickly to Benjamin, let us vanquish this beast from this earth. And then I want to lean in. If I can I reach Dominic from here to...
And you need to be closer. Oh, no, is
Okay.
it a touch or is it a range spell?
The one I'm wanting to do, I believe... Yes, it is touch.
Yeah, the only danger is that he's swinging his axe around at the moment. That's the only thing I'm
approach him
thinking.
in like a crouched way so that I can get like a...
Crawl and try to touch his leg.
Yeah.
No matter what you... Okay, then, so that...
Would I still be at risk, do you think?
Well, not if you're down on his sort of like crawling in and then casting the spell. I think what will happen is that if anything happens, like he gets knocked over or something, then the consequences might be slightly different. But that'll be your movement to actually get up to him, crawling and getting down on all fours and sort of like moving. You notice that Benjamin sort of like moves up next to you. Okay, Fire Beetle's turn. So Fire Beetle turns to you and Dominic because you've just bashed it. And it stamps, it chomps at you with its mandibles. and again saved by the fatigue spell that it has on it. It sort of like tries to take a shot out of you, a bite out of you, but you just manage to move to one side as its two mandibles slice into the air in front of you. You notice that, Dominic, that these are pretty sharp mandibles. And they're almost like, as they come together, you hear that slice, that you sometimes hear when you're sharpening blades. Just sort of like that. Okay, then. Turn 2. Hengist, you up?
Hengist is still going to carry on. He's going to take another attack.
Cool.
Nope.
Yeah, so you sort of like go to hit it, but because this beetle lurched off to hit Dominic, you just swipe thin air. Gully, you're up.
Does Gulliver see the part of the carapace come away?
No, because you're at the back of the beetle.
Okay, having unsuccessfully tried to get onto the back, Gulliver's just going to launch a knife attack at its flank.
Okay, cool.
No.
Why is there a line missed from yours?
Don't know.
Have you got that button pressed up at the top that says no? Have you changed it to no?
Everything says no.
That's my life.
There's one that says rolls,
Yeah.
shows 101.
That should say yes.
Right, sorry.
It's not a problem.
I did say before whether or not.
Can you see everybody else has got that 101 plus reduced up?
Oh, right.
And
I
you
see
don't?
what that means now.
Yeah. So you sort of like swipe your knife attack, but it just clatters off the chitin. Dominic, you up?
All right. I want to continually just keep myself between this beetle and Bartleby, and I'll.
Yeah.
I can take another swing at it. Yeah.
Yes. This would be your second. Your second
Yeah,
swing,
this is
I
my
think.
last action for this round. Okay. Yeah, I'm a swing. It's all very easy. 17.
Yeah. So you get your whatchamacallit? Your
special. Yeah.
Yeah.
This time, I mean, I think I'm just gonna try and do bleed damage.
Or you can choose location.
Oh yeah, let's choose location, and we'll go for the spot that I just took away with this armor.
Remember the ones next to your weapon are the ones that are unique to the weapons. I sent you all a connection, a link. I think everybody's got it. It's off a spreadsheet that has everything like offensive, defensive, roll, stackable, etc., which is actually all the ones that you can do. So, for example, when if a weapon criticals, you can actually choose bypass armor as your effect. I've just sent it to you on Discord again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's set up so you can filter it from top. So do you want to bypass armor? Choose location and go for the right front leg that has no chitin on
No.
it.
Yeah,
Or do you want to do bleed? It's up to you.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't see the point of doing Sunder if I can just bypass armor anyway.
No, but that's only if you get a critical.
Oh, got it.
Can you see it says bypass armor attacks criticals?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna just so right now my options are I'm gonna just choose location. I'm gonna hit the spot that I had taken away the armor before.
Yeah, so that's the right front leg. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So
just damage then?
I just need your damage, yeah.
Okay, there it goes. And 12.
Yeah, okay. Da, da, da. So you swing your great axe, and it goes straight where the chitin shell, the exoskeleton, would have been, and you just swipe straight through this, and this great fire beetle lets out this horrendous roar as you just slice off the leg all together, and it sort of like shakes for a while. It shakes for a while, but then just sort of like readdresses its balance on its other 5, and looks pretty mad. That's Dominic done. Bartleby, you're up.
Awesome. I'd like to say, or shout, I guess, behind and to Dominic. May the twin goddesses bless your blades, do more damage against this foul beast. Blade sharp.
That was really good, apart from your mic kept cutting out. But we got the gist of it. I got the gist of it.
Cool. Sorry.
Stuttering.
Now I know what I sound like normally.
My internet keeps saying internet is unstable right now, so I'm sorry, guys.
No, that's absolutely fine. I got the gist of it.
Let's send them both. Yeah.
So this is
Yeah, so
increases
your spell doesn't come off because it has to be a standard roll, and you got 50.
It's okay, I'll stutter next round.
Yeah. So yeah. So that's Bartleby done on his, and it's my turn. Okay, this fire beetle has got no more action points left, so it just sort of like continues to roar. And this is turn 3. I think Hengist and Gully. So Hengist first.
Cool. Hengist is just going to take another swing. He's going to keep wearing down this thing. Just constant attacks.
Yeah, that's hit. What would you like to do?
Hengist will do bleed again. I think.
Okay, cool.
D20. And it's 6.
Yeah, so that's his rear leg. Yeah, so as it sort of like spins round to as you take the advantage and you dive into its rear leg. Damage, please. 5. Yeah, you dive in and you hit the exoskeleton, and it just absorbs the armor. It just absorbs it all, and that's it. Gully.
Gulliver's going to take advantage of this and launch another attack with his knife.
Cool, go for it.
Yes. Do I get to tick it? Is that a fumble?
No, it comes up with an exclamation mark if it's a fumble.
Oh, right.
Okay then. Yeah, so that's the end of combat round 2. So Bartleby and Gulliver, you need endurance checks, please.
Do you want to do those now, yeah?
Yeah, at the end of the round, ready for the next round. Yeah. So,
Can I use a luck?
yes, you can do. Yeah. You can use a luck to reorganize it. You get a fumble on your endurance, so you are definitely fatigued. And yeah, you can do a luck, so you're not fatigued. So your next one would be 4. Okay then. This is round 3.
That's 20 next. That's 20 next after when we get experience, though.
Yeah, it will be. Okay, Hengist, you are up.
Hengist is, as I said, is continuously just like a flurry of blades as he continuously attacks this thing.
Yeah, that hits. Damage. Special first, please. Sorry.
Special, he would continue using bleed, I think.
Okay, bleed.
And
Okay.
that's not a crit. So.
Okay.
And is 6 again.
Yeah, same place.
And then damage. 5 again.
Yeah, it just rebounds off the exoskeleton there, and then that it does no damage at all. Gully, you're up.
Once again, Gulliver's going to check for an opening and then attack with his knife.
Cool. And you find one. You actually find one.
Seeing that Hengist is having difficulty going into getting through the armor, Gully shudders slightly and then sinks his knife into one of the glowing orbs. Can he do that as a location?
Is he choosing location? Yeah, you can do that by all means.
For 0 points of damage.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. You sort of like it's because he's got a negative damage modifier
Okay.
on it. So you sort of like stab. You sort of like go like that into this gland, and this gland sort of like goes like this, and all of a sudden there's this foul, almost like acidic smell that sort of like emanates from the gland, and you notice down from the side of the beetle sort of like oozes this sort of like thick, almost like toxic looking goo that sort of like starts to drain out of the gland, going down the side of the beetle and sort of like leaving somewhat of a fluorescent mark on the ground. Yeah, nice one.
Does it have two or just one?
It has two. The other one's around the opposite side that you wouldn't be able to think.
Yeah.
Dominic, you're up.
Quick question for you. So if I delayed my action just one round so that Pickles could use, or sorry, that Bartleby could use that spell on me, then could I go, or do I still lose an action? I'm still trying to understand how that works.
Two things. Number one, did you, Bartleby, did you cast this spell on Dominic before?
No, but I've been praying, and I guess when it didn't actually do anything, I continued the prayer as if that's a natural pause in the prayer.
Yeah,
So
no,
I'm still praying aggressive.
Yeah, I understand that. I just didn't know whether or not Dominic had seen this spell coming off before. That's what I was thinking, because he wasn't here last week, so he doesn't actually know what's happening. So you can probably hear Bartleby muttering behind you, but actually what he's muttering for, you don't actually have an idea at the moment. It does sort of like sounds as if he's just putting on nice things. However, to fully answer your question, normally if you know what that is and you would have actually felt the weapon tingle, then after this round, if that was the case, what you would do would be delay your action. So just like in D&D, so you would delay it until Bartleby cast it, and then you would be able to do it. It is possible, but not this round. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
But you can attack just as normal if you wish.
Okay. So Gumby actually gave me an idea, and I'm thinking of acting on it. What if I was to move? I mean, just tell me if this is stupid and I shouldn't do it. But move here, hack the tree, have the tree fall on it.
Okay. So two things.
I mean, obviously I couldn't do it all in one turn, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, two things. Number one, shows you leave combat. It's just like an attack of opportunity. So your first action would be to leave combat, and you would do your first action would be to leave combat. So you would have you do an evade roll, and so does the fire beetle. If you don't have the fire beetle, if either of you fail that roll, you're still in combat and your action's gone. So you would withdraw from combat first, then you would move.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I don't need to do it. I should have done it before I ran in. No big deal. I'm just gonna attack it then again.
Yeah, cool.
Let's go. 44 success.
Yeah, that's hit. What would you like your special to be?
Let me look at this document you sent me. This one. Let's do. Oh my god, there's so many. I think we'll just do bleed.
Yeah, cool.
I think bleed will work. So let me go back over here and then roll for location.
Yeah.
Right there. 18.
Nice. Yeah, that's its left front leg. So that's the other one that you haven't. No, sorry, that's his head. That's his head that you've just whacked into. So go for it. Do some damage.
10 damage.
Okay, so that bursts through the armor.
Ooh, boy.
Okay, so you feel it sort of like crack, But of course, because you're not sundering, it's not actually going. It's not. The armor will still be there, and then so that leaves that amount left. Yeah. So you sort of like crack down on this fire beetle, and it's just sort of like you almost like feel your axe slice through the exoskeleton into the actual beetle's head, and you feel it sort of like biting into obviously beetle brain.
Oh yeah, beetle brain.
Okay, and there's a bit of beetle juice that comes out of it as well, just so you know. And Bartleby, you're up.
I'd like to continue my preaching.
Yeah, nice one.
Just hollering about how we're to cleanse the earth of Meroth's creatures, bring upon Amriel's light into the world, and I'm actually just looking for the button to click.
Stalling.
Go away.
And you carry on muttering.
Oh, that's a luck point.
Can I-
Well,
yeah,
if
can I
ever
luck
I've seen
that?
one.
You can
I'm gonna
look
look
it if you wish.
Luck it.
Yeah, okay then. So that, can you just put blade sharp in the thing again?
Absolutely.
So I can see it. So, Dominic, what's your normal damage on your weapon?
2d6 plus 2.
2d6 plus 2. So your attack now will be 2d8
2d8. Okay.
plus 3. I think it adds 1 damage, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
So it'll just for this combat, it will be 2d8 plus 2. So you don't need to change anything. You can just use the dice roller. I'll remember what we're doing. So
I'm just putting in Blessed Great Axe as another weapon that
Yeah.
I'll use when I have this.
yeah, that a good idea. Yeah, good idea. Okay, Fire Beetle's turn. Yeah, so since you've just whacked it in its head, it's going to bite down on you, Dominic. My rolls are rubbish today. Oh,
Do you want to use the point of luck?
well, actually, I do have luck. All creatures have luck. In any case, that they can actually use because it comes from their ability scores, doesn't it?
Oh, does it?
Yeah, your luck points come from your ability scores. It's not something that you've gained. It's like my action points. So I have magic points. I have an initiative bonus, etc. You know, so I can use luck points if I wish, but I wouldn't do that without announcing to the whole party that luck points will now be used by monsters. So it sort of like bites down at you, Dominic, and you feel its breath, its beetle breath, very close to you, because it is getting closer and closer with its hits. Okay, this is turn 2. Hengist, you are up.
Cool. Angus is going to continue attacking it as per.
Oh, a nice
Nice.
crit.
Ooh.
What would you like your special to be?
Angus is going to use bleed and then bypass armor. If that's
Oh
right.
yes, bypass armor.
Yeah, so bypass armor first and then bleed. So location first.
That's the one. Right in its 11.
Yeah, so this is his middle leg. Yeah,
It's 11.
And it's 8 damage.
8 damage. Okay, and then I need to roll my endurance to stop the bleed. Which he does. So that is that now. Hang on, let me just.
So after continuous like backwards and forth swings, he finally just manages to get that lucky swing and just catches it right in the joint of the leg, and it just goes as he does his damage.
Yeah, and let me just do.
Your rolls are just sort of like unbelievable.
Did that come up? That yeah. Okay then. Yeah. Okay then.
33.
So it's sort of like so you sort of like whack it. You actually do a huge amount of damage to this leg. It's not actually off, but the beetle staggers somewhat, and it actually can't perform any attack for this turn. Because it's quite traumatized that you've nearly chopped off its leg. Gully, you're up.
Gulliver's going to use the opportunity that this beetle isn't thrashing about to quickly run round to the other side of it.
Okay, so that'll be your movement. Dominic, you're up.
All right. I'm gonna swing. Hopefully, 36.
Yeah, and that's hits. This beetle will parry because it can actually parry because it can't attack.
Okay.
Yeah, and as you, I know I miss. Yeah, so you swing at it, and it tries to snap at the shaft of your great axe, but fails to get a hold of it. So,
Because it's too fatigued.
Yes, it is.
That's a good spell Gully has there.
Okay. Yeah, I need location. I need special, and then I need a special, then location.
Okay. So I'm looking at the specials. I'm trying to familiarize myself with them, and I saw. Oh crap! Where did it go? Choose location. Is that's something I can do?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Then I'm gonna do choose location, and we're gonna go for its head again.
Yeah. Cool.
All right, and then blessed great axe damage.
2d6, 2d8 plus 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or is it 3? 2d8.
2d8 plus 3 now.
3. Yeah.
Well, the actual spell says, whereas the same spell on a great axe would increase it to 2d8 plus 2.
Oh, so it would be plus 2 then. Okay, so
Well, we can do.
No.
We can. So you actually rolled an 8 and a 3. Yeah. And then you add on the 3. Can you see if you hover over the 14?
Yeah.
So it'll just be like 13 points of damage, won't it?
Yeah, so
We could do-
13.
So that takes that
15,
down to take off 13. Take off that takes it down to 4, and that, and then that will come through. So you raise your great axe and you just plow it down once again onto this fire beetle's head, and you just break through the exoskeleton, and the chitin sort of like cracks from all direction, and you just go straight through the exoskeleton, and you plow your blade of the axe really sort of like completely deep into it. It's almost like you can only see the shaft left, and this beetle sort of like shudders, and then just sort of like its legs give way, and it just sort of like collapses to the floor. It is deaded.
I just want to let go of the just have it just wedged in it and just let go and just roar at the heavens. Just roar!
Yeah,
Let
nice.
go.
Gulliver cut off the old print in his backpack. No.
Cool.
Gulliver, seeing that this is dead, will look around, and he's going to see Benjamin stood there with a blade behind Bartleby.
No, he's not behind Bartleby.
Oh, right, by the side of Bartleby.
He stood by the side of Bartleby, and he's not taking any offensive actions at all.
No, but
This one
he's Gully's
Yeah.
going to say, Hengist, he's got a knife.
Angus is going to look up and go, so he has?
I'd like to nod as well and be like, I guess he does.
Well, where did he get it from?
Benjamin says, Lucas gave it to me. He said that I performed so well in the last combat where I helped kill people that I shouldn't go into this place unarmed.
I'll turn to the kid and be like, "Who the fuck is this runt?"
This is Benjamin. We saved him from the river.
We did we? Huh.
They
Welcome,
did, yeah.
Benjamin. I'm Dominic.
He's sort of like he's only about 5'7", so he sort of like looks you up and down and sort of like looks at your bulging biceps and your tattoos and sort of like looks down at his own, and then he sort of like looks at you and says, "Greetings, sir. Maybe one day, I could be as strong as you."
I'll laugh and be like, "I'm no sir. Trust me on that one." And yeah, you'll get there. Keep that blade. You're going to need it.
And he sort of like sheaves it in his boot again.
Benjamin intends to join the city guard when we get back to Lindo.
The city guard. Huh. Bunch of pricks.
He's Benjamin says, "Yeah, I think you're right, Master Dominic. I think I might have a calling in a different direction."
As I'm dislodging my axe from the beast's head, just wrestling it out, I'm like, "What calling is that, young one?"
I have yet to decide, although Master Bartleby certainly has some interesting spells at his disposal. He actually protected me the other day. I felt the power of his goddess surge through me and protect me as I launched into combat.
I'll, once I get the axe dislodged, I'll stand it next to me and I'll kind of put my hand on his head and duck it, kneel down to his level. I'll be like, "Bartleby's got what we call intelligence. He's a good one to follow. You listen to that man, you're going to need a lot of it in your life. You don't want to end up like me, trust me." I'll stand up and kind of look at Bartleby and I'll be like, "You're good people." Not knowing what he did to me, but I know he did something, so.
Cool.
Gulliver's going to see whether or not he can actually remove this other gland from the beetle without popping it.
Yeah. Do you just wish to do it yourself? Do you just wish to have a go at it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go for it then. Do you have a suitable skill or anything that you would like to implement?
I have a knife skill.
Apart from that, let me have a look.
No. Perception to see where I should cut.
No. Yeah, just roll your knife skill then. Yeah, you sort of like start to hack it round, and there's no problem actually hacking it off the fire beetle. But what you do notice is that as you hack it off, it's got several cuts in it as the liquid starts to sort of like ooze out like the other one.
Yeah.
Gulliver's just sort of going to look and say, "Yeah, this one's damaged as well."
Angus will sheath his sword, take his helmet off and put it and shield off and put it with his backpack. But before he picks it up, he's gonna clap Dominic on the shoulder and go, "Glad to have you back with us. Your axe is always welcome."
Excellent.
Looks like I got here just in time for the fun, eh?
And
your timing is impeccable.
yeah. And at that point, we are going to take our first break. Because it's been 2 hours and I need the bathroom. So we are going to have a quick 10-minute break. So please do go away and have a break, but please make sure that you come back and see what happens around the corner of the track. We'll see you in 10.